So thank you, Sruli, for joining us today. So we have Sruli, the head of biz dev from Montrose, one of our clients who we're super excited to have worked with. So we're excited to get to be able to spotlight you guys in this coming month's newsletter. And share Montrose stories. So maybe if we want to start off, just touch on, what is Montrose, in 1 to 2 sentences?
Sure. Firstly, thank you for having me. It's great to be here. What is Montrose? Montrose started about 12 years ago as a change booth. Tourists came, changed $100, walked away with shekels. And throughout time, we graduated to cashing checks, so people bringing over their wages, all those sort of things. And then as the technology progressed, Montrose is now a fully online platform for businesses to do their foreign exchange at the best rates possible and any international payments they may need. That means collecting funds from clients, paying suppliers, and anything else that's involved.
Awesome. And what exactly was the problem that you noticed and identified and are solving now?
Sure. So when Israel's a small market, and as businesses grow, they look to pick up clients overseas. And when they were doing that, whether it was sending funds over there or receiving funds from them, was a very, very complicated process. Number one, very expensive, and number two, very slow. It could take up to a week to get your bills paid or whatever it was. And in business, cash flow is everything. So that was the problem, and the solution that we found is through our banking partnership with Visa, is we set each of our clients up with a virtual business account in multiple countries. So across Europe, the UK, the US, and very soon Israel, each business has their own virtual bank account under the Montrose platform, and they can receive funds wherever they need to. So if they've got clients in America, clients can pay them in the US. Clients in the UK, the same thing, they can get paid in the UK. The other thing that we solve is that banks charge almost 1.5% for foreign exchange, and with Montrose, about the highest we charge is 0.5%. So it's a significant savings as well.
Got it. Yeah, I was just about to ask. So, what is really the unique value prop for Montrose compared to, I guess, other currency exchanges? I don't know if that would be the right word or
against
forms.
So our unique one is number one, those named accounts. So having an account in your business name with never having to leave the office. You never have to fly to the States to open up a bank account there. That's the first unique one, although it is becoming more common. The second unique one is the cost on the cost on the foreign exchange saving. And then our third unique one, and I think this really doesn't happen a lot yet in Israel, is risk management of funds. So it's a tough one to explain. I'll try to do it in about 30 seconds, but essentially if you as an Israeli business, let's say an Israeli importer, they find a product that they want to bring in from overseas and it costs $10 for each thing, right? So $10 today, let's say that equals 35 shekel. But they don't have to pay, or it's not going to arrive for another 3 months. What happens if in those 3 months, the US dollar rises and all of a sudden it's now costing that company 38 or 40 or 45 shekel to pay for that same product? So what you can do with Montrose is when you put in the order, you can actually lock in a rate on that day, and it doesn't matter which way the market moves, you're still paying that 35 shekel. So you're able to predict your cash flow and protect yourself against market swings, which is a major thing for businesses.
For sure. Yeah. So what are some major milestones that you guys have hit? Where are you guys at?
Where are we at? What have we done? We're just about to get signed up with the Bank of Israel to have our own bank code, which is a very exciting one. We crossed the 5,000 customers mark. That was another big one, and we're aiming to hit about $400 million in turnover this year. So those are some massive milestones that we're excited to cross.
Amazing. That's super exciting. So I know when we were initially introduced, a big struggle that you were facing was more on the sales side. And I'm curious, what was it when you started diving into the sales process that made you feel like you were struggling to what exactly was the struggle when you were speaking to customers that made you feel like you needed to get that story really sharp?
Sure. So I think with every young business at the beginning, or not so young, but with every business at the beginning, you get a lot of your clients come from referrals, from your reputation, And I guess from like your inner network, eventually once you hit a certain stage of growth, that kind of stalls, and you have to start putting in a sales function that's really going to push your business to the next level. So when we started reaching out to people with the idea, whether it's on LinkedIn, whether it's phone calls, whether it's emails, we'd explain to them the idea, and people liked the sound of it. But for people to commit to a 20-minute sales call or a half an hour sales call when they don't know much about it, it was really hard to get them to do that. So a lot of people were asking for information. Do you have some information that you can send through? And that was something that we were really lacking, like a good sales deck or a good sales pitch or a good one-pager. So we came to you guys, and we walked away with a very I would call it a very high-level sales deck that's gotten great feedback so far.
Amazing. Do you feel like now, do you feel more confident now when you're speaking to people? Because I know, like, even from experience, when anyone asks, like, send me more materials, and you're like, oh, wait, like, now I need to put something together. Do you feel more confident now? Like, how does that?
Yeah, 100%. Number one, because it gives you a certain level of professionalism. When you have a really professionally done sales deck, it gives you a certain level of professionalism. You know, it's kind of like a storefront. If somebody walks into your store and it's not well set out or it doesn't look good, they're kind of going to go, does this place really know what they're doing? However, when you provide them with materials that are done to a really professional level, it kind of gives them, it helps build their confidence in you. So that's one thing. It definitely adds to the confidence of myself and our salespeople. Excuse me. And the second thing is that now just for the initial outreach, so when reaching out to people, instead of just sending them a LinkedIn message, now we can send them something with a really well-designed, the one-pager that you guys gave us, which really explains what we do, without overloading them with information. And that way they can then go, all right, we're happy to sit down, for a 15 to 20-minute sales call.
For sure. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, we loved working with you. And on behalf of the whole team, everyone really, really enjoyed it. So now, what's your guys' top priority now in terms of going forward and growing?
So, yeah, we've really hit that stage where we've upgraded our platforms that it's intuitive and easy to use, and it's really just about getting out there now and picking up new customers. A lot of people are always trying to push extra features and new features and all those sort of things. I think that our platform's in a really good place. We've got a really, really, really good offering, and it's just about getting out there and picking up as many clients, networking, and getting as many referrals and sales as we can. Sure.
And if there's anything that anyone in my network or anyone listening can help you with, what would that be?
If they could help us. Introductions, an interesting one. This is a family business, and I actually left for a few years, and I was working for American Express in their corporate division. And when you approached a business as American Express, you immediately had that name and the trust and the backing of a Fortune 500 company. Whereas when you're working for a much smaller company, especially in financial services, trust and reputation is everything. So if anybody could help us, it would really be that nudge that I guess whether it's referrals or if people asked about us, that I could then say, they could vouch for us. I get a lot of customers go, hey, it sounds great, but we need to know that we can trust you. So having people from your network and our shared network essentially who can vouch for us, that would be the key.
Sure. Yeah. So if anyone's listening that heard that and is interested, then to definitely reach out to Sruli. Is there any last message that you want to share or?
Oh, that's a good question. I think we solve a problem that not a lot of people even know that they have. Now, when companies need to receive money from overseas, they go to their bank and they can get a foreign currency account, and it works. However, there is a much better solution out there. So think about it. If you know how much you're paying for your foreign exchange, if you're happy with the current process, and if not, reach out. We're always here to talk. It doesn't cost anything, and we're happy to run you through it.
Amazing, awesome. Thank you, Sruli.